Hey guys, Carlos Cortez here with another episode of Scriptures and Wallstreet. Wow, we've been doing this for 4 years now. I'm so excited that the platform has grown. We've gotten so many emails from you guys. We've gotten people visiting all over the states to our office in Oldsmar, talking about their retirement. And it's such a huge blessing if you've come by and I've had the opportunity to meet you and shake your hand. We welcome our clients. We welcome our prospective clients. And if I have time, let's do lunch. All you got to do is give our office a call, 813-448-3446. And I look forward in helping our God-fearing patriots take advantage of what the markets are doing, and more importantly, protecting. So that's really the aim here, is protecting what you have and then growing from there, protecting and growing, constantly shifting, and have an ability to have accounts that can do that for you tactically. And so that's the problem, is that many clients, before I meet with them, they're just sticking their assets in a retirement account, hoping that it's going to go up. Well, that's 33% chance, right? The market goes up, market goes down, market goes sideways. So you're making money 33% of the time. It just happens to be that the economy and that the stock market grows 74% of the time. So that 33% of that 74% typically is up. Hopefully it's up. If not, we have bigger problems. So today's episode, I just wanted to say, I think the Fed is screwing us over. I think the Fed is always late to the party. The Fed is going to create another global financial crisis by not lowering interest rates. I said this last podcast that it might be stagnant. Last year, I said, don't be surprised if they raise interest rates. Don't be surprised if they do not lower interest rates. I said that going into 2024 last year. And I got looked like if I was crazy. I got looked at crazy if I was saying Bitcoin will go down to 63, 62 on a Money Minute with Stu. And what is it doing now? It's coming back down. It went to 75, shot back up to 83, 85, all the way up to 88. And people were like, see, you're an idiot, blah, blah, blah. But it's coming back down, guys. This is the head fake I was telling you about. This is the manipulations I was talking about. Wall Street has basically coined Bitcoin and has adopted it. And yes, it is manipulated. You can't manipulate Bitcoin itself, but you can manipulate the pricing on it. And the reason why they do that is because Wall Street has billions and billions of dollars that they can control the price of gold and silver. They can control the price of real estate. They can control any stock, any security, any commodity, and more importantly, Bitcoin, especially that Bitcoin is now adopted on the ETFs, on mutual funds, right? There's ETFs that are now approved that have a high correlation to BTC. So be on a very, very careful lookout. Today, I just wanted to check the woke media and see, hey, man, is interest rates really going to go down? Well, let's go to our friends at Yahoo. You guys love this Yahoo guy, right? Yeehaw. So here we have Jerome Stinkin' Powell. Feds hold rate steady, see slower growth and higher inflation. Now, this is Saturday. I'm recording this on Wednesday because I will be in California this weekend. So I want to go ahead and get a pod out for the weekend so I didn't leave you guys stranded. But yeah, there was a lot of news going out today. They're going to be talking about this all week. So let's see what they're saying with the Fed. Really means how it affects your bank accounts, your loans, your credit cards, and other investments. No video here, but Fed watchers have time. Now, this is woke liberal media, guys, so you got to take it with a grain of salt. Nothing's happening. We might as well get some popcorn. Another pause in interest rates moves was announced March 19th. The low-end target funds have 4.25 cents before Christmas. Washington and the world are waiting to see what happens to the economy. So again, let's do nothing and let's just wait it out. Wait it out. As the volatility gets higher, as inflation gets higher, let's wait it out. This is the advice from stinking freaking Yahoo Finance. This is what they want you to everything's calm and cool, right? That's the tone. With the Fed on the sidelines plotting its next play, the hope for lower interest rates is fading. The stock market is stumbling around without direction. Interest rates on loans, deposit accounts, credit cards are looking at Coach Powell for a clue as to where to go. Still, you have to keep an eye out on your money. Here's how the rate pauses impacting debit and credit card. There's an ad here. Checking accounts. Many checking accounts pay a poor amount, pennies on a dollar. The cash is moving in and out mostly. Savings account still remains at 0.41. The high yield saving accounts, resilient money has havens during the lull. They're still in the 4% range with some financial providers slightly below or heavier than that. Money markets, if you have 10 grand or more, you want to keep on the sidelines close by because it's only paying a national average 63 basis points. Not much point to that. Better option might be a high yield money market where rates are still near a little better than 4%. Yeah, let's give our money to the bank where the bank owns your money, and hopefully the bank doesn't go belly up after we look at KRE. So CD rates have resilient, moving down just fractionally in recent months. A 12-month CD is paying 1.75, but you can find better deals if you're willing to take the time to hunt them down and park your money in the bank where the bank has access to your money. What the latest Fed rate pause will mean for mortgages and personal loans. Mortgage rates have been the most stubborn of all. Home loan rates actually rose following the Fed rate cut in September. Analysis said that the Fed move was already priced in. I said that rates would go up. I was talking about mortgage rates. The thing is, the Fed manipulation of overnight interest rate change charged to banks doesn't directly steer mortgage rates. Those are more influenced by the bond market, particularly the 10-year Treasury note. We've been looking at the 10-year Treasury note. The bond market reacts to the forecast for economic growth or the lack of it. It will also take incremental Fed interest rate reductions, and they just go on and on. They can't give advice on this article, but it goes to show you that there's at one point, did they ever take responsibility? At one point, did they ever say, you know what, we screwed up? You know what, we're late to the game? They never, ever, the Democrats, the liberal woke media, never take responsibility, ever. And this is why they are always oppressed. This is why they always say they, and not us. Like it is just crazy. Like they just don't take in responsibility. You see it all over the media. You see it in just so many spots. It's annoying. Going over to Bloomberg real quick. I was watching Bloomberg.
Yields were higher going into this decision.
During
the word on everybody's lips, that's
during
where we
the
were
Fed
concerned about
announcement.
the economy being.
So we look at the Russell 2000.
So if it's on everybody's lips, Christopher, is that warranted or overdramatic?
Well, you saw it in the summary of economic projections from the Fed today, right? You saw inflation tick up slightly in their longer-term projections in the next couple of years, and you saw growth come down certainly this year. So I think that is a reasonable scenario going forward. There are lots of uncertainties around any of those assumptions,
30-year Treasury,
which I think makes things even more difficult
yield curve is inverted now
for investors. And to your point about what level of uncertainty or what measures should it be Michigan Fed or other surveys in terms of inflation projections, I think we all just read the news every day and feel like there is very little predictability in U.S. economic policy right now, which is what has been roiling markets.
Christopher, we just heard some comments from Kevin Hassett in the White House driveway as he was talking to reporters a short time ago. Of course, Director NEC asked about this idea of negative market sentiment surrounding the tariff policies. Comments today from Jay Powell. He said he respects the independence of the Fed too much to weigh in and cherry pick the Fed chair's statements. Is that the new relationship now between this White House and the Fed? How would you describe it?
Well, I think, that's sort of welcome non-interference from the Trump White House these days. So I think that's probably what we would hope for in terms of non-comment and non-cherry picking. But I'm not sure we're going to expect the president to be restrained in the next weeks or months if the economy does indeed start to slow and he turns his attention to the Fed. And, what seems like a reasonable policy of let's do nothing until we're sure whether the next move should be up or down. I'm not sure the president, will be so restrained in his remarks.
Of course he's not.
Well, the president didn't seem to be too focused on this particular decision today, at least on his social media feeds. No true social post yet that I'm aware of, Christopher, though we did get, of course, a true social post and other statements from the White House today related to his phone call with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. When you consider the administration's efforts to reach a ceasefire in that war, what's happening in the Middle East as well, while we factor in all these domestic risks around tariffs and what the economy will look like, what about the geopolitical atmosphere? How does that factor into all of this?
I think it factors in the background. Certainly, the path of any kind of war or ceasefire in Ukraine will have bigger implications for Europe, for example, if there is some sort of lowering of energy prices or access.
I don't know if you guys caught this, but if you looked at the 2-year Treasury, I saw when I just hit record on this podcast, it literally was 4.2 on a 2-year. Did a screenshot. It says 4.2 as a time of recording this. It does say the 2-year Treasury is 3.8. So what is it? Where are we getting this information from? Like, this is huge information, and there's a huge discrepancy. So is it 4.2 or 3.8? The reason why this is important because that 2-year Treasury literally tells America, tells the whole world, hey, we're not confident in our 10-year, our long-term outlook. So that 2-year is not going to pay as high, or the 10-year is going to pay as high as a 2-year. But we'll invest with you short-term. We'll put our money in your Treasury bills for 2 years. That's it, and we'll get our 4.2. So I'm getting different information on different media sites. So I just wanted to point that out, and I'll share that screenshot real quick.
This to Russian gas in the year or two ahead. Frankly, right now, today is a good day in the sense that both Russia and Ukraine appear to be ratcheting down their level of hostilities one notch in terms of a ceasefire that avoids energy targets. But there's a long way to go to get the two parties to agree to any kind of a longer term solution. And what you're seeing is an increasing divergence in interests, not just between Ukraine and Russia, but between the US and Europe and Ukraine and Russia. So getting all four of those parties aligned is going to be a tall order for the president. I think those things weigh on investors' minds, but they're still probably secondary to the path ahead for growth and inflation that the Fed has been focused on today.
All right, Christopher Smart, managing partner at the Arbroath Group. Thank you so much for joining us. And
Great to be with you.
Continue this conversation ahead in the aftermath of Zelensky and President Trump's phone call, the agreement for an energy ceasefire with Russia. We'll have more on that next with retired General Wesley Clark, former NATO Supreme Allied Commander Europe. He'll join us next on Balance of Power on Bloomberg TV and radio.
Yeah, that's okay. We don't want to watch that clown. So, pretty interesting how they showed those 2-year and Treasury charts. Where we're going to show real quick. Let's go to Market Watch. Yeah, so check out this screenshot. I wasn't lying, man. Like this I saw this literally just a few moments ago. As soon as I pressed live on Bloomberg, our 1 month is paying 4.29. The U.S. 3-month Treasury bill is paying 4.2. The 6 months, 4.2. The 1 year is paying 4%, 4.09. The 2 year, 3.98. The 10 year is 4.2, as you saw. And the 30 year is 4.5. So the yield curve is inverted, guys, meaning the short term is paying just as much as the long term. Now, it took almost 2 years for this to uninvert, and it's going back into inversion. That means it's signaling a recession. I've never seen an inversion get uninverted and then all the way come back to inversion. So we're in this like rollover weird stage, consolidation stage, and the Fed wants to say, hey, let's do nothing and let's kind of wait till we get some more economic data. What more economic data do you want? Let's just do some common sense here. Let's go to the banking index, also known as KRE. You guys know that I've talked about KRE for years now. literally years. I was talking about this back in 2022. You remember that when I said we're going to have a death cross on KRE? It was over 60. It was close to 70. Death cross was signaling on my scanners. Boom! It went from 70 to 37.5. I remember talking about this, and this was more bank failures, more than 2008. We had this, and again, I could care less what Stu Peters says. I could care less what Mike Lindell says. I could care less what Ben Bernanke, Janet Dammit Yellen, or Jerome Powell. I could care freaking less what they say. I look at the charts. The charts don't lie. The charts are the truth. They have no political belief. They are exactly what is happening. You and I have a political belief, and we can be on the same page, but I also get corrected all the time by the charts. My belief system is my belief system. What is reality is completely different. And what reality says, hey, man, we got a death cross forming on the financial markets. This is no longer about me and my feelings. This is actually happening now. So if you got money in the bank, be careful. Be careful. You are allowing the bank to contractually, legally agree and partner with you saying, hey, I'm Mr. Bank here. If I fail and fall apart, I can take your money. You allow me to take your money legally. And you're okay with that because you're going to pay, we're going to pay you interest while we hold your money and pay you back on our terms. Like, that's what happens when you open up a checking account, a business checking account, do business with the banks. It doesn't matter. CDs are just extra layer protection for them, not for you. That is more relinquishing of your assets. You're certifying this department. In exchange, you're getting a fixed rate of return. They have the right to bank bail in your money. If KRE is involved and there is a financial crisis, guess what, buddy? You are paying for it. Like, your money is cooked. You're cooked. Straight cooked, man. Yeah, so just a little side note. You guys don't actually, I use the word cooked a lot. And that's what I tell my kids. So my kids, I buy them these cool sneakers, Jordans, and they cook them. They're just stained, they're dirty, they're filthy. And I actually there's a few things I like doing that's not financial. I actually like cleaning sneakers, my kids' sneakers. I like their face. I like how it's like a new car. When you have a messy car and you get it detailed, that great feeling for them. That's how they feel when I clean their shoes. So here's a video of me cleaning Rachel's Nike glitters. They have glitter on a check mark, and they were disgusting. They were smelly. They were bad. They were cooked. Not everything is financial, and not everything is rainbows and unicorns. One of the things I love to do actually is clean my kids' cooked Nikes. For those of you that know me, I love sneakers, particularly Jordan 1 lows. Love them. All my kids have the Dunks, and I'm just in my laundry room, and Rachel cooked her glitters. So these are pretty cool because they have the glitters. So pretty neat sneaker. I'm actually going to hand wash them so they'll look clean like this one. So yeah, I love changing tires, and I love cleaning sneakers. And now they're white as snow, and they're fresh, and great products from switchmoreproducts.com. I mean, they clean the heck out of these things. I clean Jacob's Nikes, his Jordan 1 lows, but yeah, I like doing that. So they're not cooked no longer. Oh man, these kids are so cute. So funny thing about me is I actually like changing tires, and I like cleaning sneakers, and I like ironing clothes. I don't know what it does, but I just like the satisfaction of having a nice pressed shirt or pants and clean shoes and new tires. I don't know what it is. It's weird, but not everything has to be financially related. So those are some things, if you knew me, that I do like, and I don't really share that much, but those are things that actually bring me joy to do. But hey, let me go back to the charts. Enough about me. So are we going into recession? Are we going into recession? So this is SPXS. Guys, I'm here to tell you this is not investment advice. Everything on this podcast is meant for education and information purposes only. So I'm saying my disclosure here so that you're not buying this based on what I'm saying. You're buying it because of information education purposes only. That is up to you. You assume the risk. But this is pretty amazing here. So this is the S&P 500 inverse. So if you stood up on your head and looked at the chart of the S&P 500, you would quickly see that this thing makes money when the market goes down or up. So it actually goes up when the market goes down. It has an inverse relationship. So this blue cross that I get, every time I get a blue cross, it goes up. Every time I get a blue cross, it goes up. Every time I get a blue cross here, it goes up. Going back in the historicals, the blue cross here went up a little bit. I mean, most of the time, they're short-lived. Sometimes they're long-term lived. But yeah, if you look at the blue crosses, this is when the S&P 500 was down. Let's see here. So I can only go back to 09 on this one because this ETF just came out, I believe, in 08, leverage ETF. So this is a leverage ETF. So I got a blue cross here. So if the index goes down 10%, this will go up 30%. So look for this to start cooking in the right way. We are at a very low point at 571. I like this as a target. You could buy an you could buy an option at $7 and you probably pretty safe, or in the money at 750 or $7 target price. I would be looking at this. Now, you would make a ton of money if the market does go down. The market doesn't like right now that the Fed didn't lower interest rates. Trump doesn't like that. He's going to blow up social media, and you will be hearing a lot about Trump probably this week saying that Jerome Powell better get his act together, that we need to lower interest rates. So it's going to be interesting how this pans out. There's going to be a lot more volatility. As you see, volatility cooled off. It was around 20. It was around 23 earlier this week. It was at 20.5 this morning, and now it's at 19.89. You see my ticker over here on the top middle right. Also, the average trade range for this particular ETF is about 35 cents, so it can go up and down 35 cents. That's the range. So we want to make sure if we're buying a call option that we're looking at 750 to 775 call option, whatever those strike prices are. But that would be a safe bet in case that the market does go down. Now, if you want to get into this without much or less risk, then just hold the ETF. Just hold it and then sell it when it hits $12, $13. I mean, this thing could really, really go up substantially. So this is when the market was going up. This was going down. And as anything, you want to buy low and sell high. So if this thing has reached its rock bottom price and now we get a blue cross, a golden cross, I mean, just looking from a technical standpoint, this is going to go up. Like, why wouldn't we buy this right here when we have 3 years of historical data of what it's done? It's at its all-time low. Why wouldn't we buy this right here? Maybe just a portion of your portfolio. Maybe 5%, maybe 3%. Maybe you're risky like me and you want to spend 10% of your portfolio and buy a call option. And if you lose it, great. If you win, boom, you just made 50, 100 grand. You made a Nancy Pelosi trade, my friend. So I really like SPXS. It's a lot of volatility. It is a ton of risk. This is not meant for retirement. This is meant for money that you can afford to lose and that you would trying to 10x, 4x, 5x, 2x, whatever. You're trying to multiply in a quick period of time. This would be a great trade, as well as SQQQ. This is short the NASDAQ. Now, I don't think this is a great time to buy this particular one, but I feel like the NASDAQ might get a bounce back up. But I'm not liking what we saw today. So SQQQ Once all this turns red again, I would buy this, but keep this on a high alert. You could get in. It will be extremely aggressive because we might get a pushback down as a market does rise on this Fibonacci rebound or the support. But be very careful with this shorting the NASDAQ, because the NASDAQ is extremely powerful. But once again, it's at an all-time low. Like, I could go back on this. It's at an all-time low, guys. And I just want you guys to be careful because it's at 29.36 around there, all-time low. So this really could creep up to back to 60s. I mean, this thing was $300 ETF at one point. And we're buying it on literally quarters on a dollar. So I like this play, man. But you got to be careful. You got to be extremely careful. This one needs more time to marinate. Now, my trade of the year, TMF, not looking too hot right now, but it's still looking good. I got a blue cross. My traffic lights are turning green. So pretty soon we should have some lowering interest rates. When interest rates do lower, this is going to spike up like crazy. I really think it's going to go past 100. Conservatively speaking, it could go to 200. But right now we are at 42.31. You can buy the call options at $100 for dollar. I really like this play. But this one is going to be a 6 to 12 month hold. Like, we're not going to buy it, make a ton of money inside of a month. No, this one's going to take 6 to 12 months to marinate. This should go up slowly, and then boom, it will just trigger up. It would just have a crazy spike. We see all these waves going down. This is every time they rose interest rates, the prices of those bonds went down. Every time they rose interest rates, the prices of these bonds went down. Every time they rose interest rates, the price of those bonds went down. So I think they're done rising interest rates, but they're staying stagnant. And so eventually, for our economy, for home prices to actually be attainable, they got to lower mortgage rates. They got to lower interest rates. They have to lower interest rates because people are not going to buy a home that's inflated in price at 7, 6, not even 5. Most of you would sell your homes if you can get into a 4% mortgage. That's going to take a while to get to. More importantly, the home prices need to come back down. Like, here in Tampa, $1 million doesn't buy you a decent home. I mean, a family of 6 like me, $1 million gets me a small home around 2,800 square foot in a decent neighborhood. That's insanity. Where I'm originally from, North Carolina, $1 million will get you a mansion. And it's not like that anymore, I know, but I could buy a huge house in my hometown in North Carolina versus where I'm at now. And it sucks because what if you're a single mom? What if you have kids? What if you're a single dad? What if you're just a newlywed? Like, you don't have the income nor the capacity or the credit score history or the income to qualify for a mortgage. Speaking of mortgages, they're just not lending out mortgages anymore. They want you to have a crazy high credit score, no debt to ratio, and have a job when people can't even keep a job right now, and also buy a home that is somewhat in your price range, that is not inflated in pricing. So a lot of things going on, guys. Tons of stuff going on. Take a little break here. After this commercial, we're going to talk about some green money solutions and some other charts as well. But yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Pay attention to this commercial on Get Me Lean USA. So how many times have we gotten lost in the minutia of the everyday life? We've gotten fat, we've gotten lazy, we've gotten complacent, not just in our faith, but also our fitness, maybe our finances, maybe our marriage, maybe our family. But we've gotten complacent, and we constantly need to continue to grow. And one of the things I was weak at was in my fitness. As a former athlete, I thought I had it all. My ego got in the way. I'm like, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. Up until now, I have been able to focus on my fitness. For those of you who've been following me for 3 or 4 years, you understand that I've gained a lot of weight. I've used the excuse of having 4 kids, a marriage, a business, helping out at church, all these excuses. And I keep putting myself in the back burner. This is deadly. And what I love about this company, what I love about taking ownership, is that GetMeLeanUSA.com has the ability to introduce natural groundbreaking peptides. What your body demands, what your body needs to release those fat stored cells, to build muscle, to gain your physical being back to where it's naturally supposed to be. We're not talking about big pharma saying we're going to come out with the weight loss drug. We're not talking about losing muscle. We're talking about gaining muscle, gaining your physique back, controlling your appetite, giving you the edge that you need to help you get your body back in check the way God intended it to be, by using his resources with America First products, with America First company that aligns and believes in what you believe in. Introducing GetMeLeanUSA.com. Get in. This is going to be groundbreaking, huge business opportunity, as well as a huge groundbreaking technology that is going to change the landscape. So I know good things before I see it, and I highly recommend you get in. All you got to do is click the link below and get you some fit, get you some lean, and get fit and get lean. This is not going to do everything. Of course, diet and exercise, you continue your walking, continue your protein intake, but man, does it make it a whole lot easier to get in shape. Look at me, I've lost 60 pounds, but this is actually fundamentally a great recipe to get back in shape. And I can personally attest to the amazing effects of this product. So go to GetMeLeanUSA.com. You won't regret it. You can cancel anytime. They're affordable and yet they're effective. And you are supporting our show. You're supporting yourself. You're supporting a mission. There is an affiliate program attached to it if you would want to share it with your friends and family. There's a whole nother opportunity there. But more importantly, let's get your fitness back in check. God bless you. Carlos Cortez here, signing out. So speaking of divergence, I actually wanted to bring up the S&P 500. Check out this chart. This chart is very, very powerful here. So hopefully you can see that here. But I want to just kind of spend a few minutes talking about where are we headed, what has happened, and what to do right now. So if you look into this divergence, every time you see a yellow bar, divergence basically means is the momentum's going up, but the pricing is going down. So there is a divergence here back in 2020, and then we had the COVID drop with this red. The red dot tells us that, hey, there's some bad things happening. Get out of the way. Go to fixed. Go to fixed. Then the market goes down. Hey, there's some good things happen. Get into equity. Boom. All of 2021, our clients made a ton of money. And then divergence happen again when the price and momentum are going two different ways. We have a divergence. We get a red bubble here. Boom, market goes down. There's another divergence. Hey, price is going the opposite way of momentum. And then we get a green signal. Market goes up. Fast forward to July 2023. We get a red signal. No divergence. So it was a smaller drop. And then in 2024, we get a re-entered in the market in November 2023. And then we get a red signal March 2024. You guys remember that? We got a drop. And then we were kind of wrong there. It took off. And so we were in fixed, straight fixed right now. So we didn't lose anything, but we didn't make this upswings here. Then this is what we call a head fake, where it would come back up and come right back down. And so we re-entered the actual full equity markets in 2024. It was choppy. We had a divergence again, red bubble. Here we are in 2025. We have a divergence with a red bubble. What do you think historically is going to happen here, guys? This is not fear mongering. This is actually reality. So if you're just sitting, if you're sitting in your 401k, if you're sitting in your investments thinking, hey, Tesla's going to come back up. Yes, it will. But would it come back up on your time or the market's time? Maybe you lost money in the QQQs. Maybe you lost money in SPXS. But look, you got to have the ability to get in and out of the market. So I don't know if your current situation allows you to look at these type of charts with conviction. Bring it up to your advisor. What do you think about this chart, Miss Advisor? Oh, well, we can't do nothing about it. That's because they don't have access to it, because they're so aligned with their company policies. They're so aligned with their corporate media BS that you actually get hurt because you don't have access to this information. They don't have access to their information. Dude, it's like your advisor's Jehovah's Witness. It's like they're a Jehovah's Witness of the financial world. Jehovah's Witnesses are not allowed to read their own Bible. They're not allowed to read a Bible without consent from the Kingdom Hall. They have their own version of the Bible they can read on their own terms. Real talk, man. Real talk. So, is your current advisor a Jehovah's Witness? Is it a cult? I know my former employer, where I used to work before I knew all this stuff, they were straight Scientologists, man. Like, if you thought about leaving their money managers, you had to go in a red chair thinking room and think about how terrible and reprogram your mindset because you are acting out of line. I kid you not. They had a thinking room in Minneapolis. Maybe I can find a picture and show it to you, but yeah, it was a red thinking chair, and they actually shared it in their commercials. It was really bad, so really creepy. Come to find out, Clearwater's right in my backyard here, and there's the Mecca, Ron Hubbard, Scientology, Dianetics. It's all there. Yes, and you know what's sad? Not to get into like theology, but a lot of churches are practicing Dianetics. You know, like punching a pillow and screaming into it and repeating and chanting. Like, that's not Holy Spirit led. The only way you get transformed is by the power and the blood of Christ Jesus through his Holy Spirit. You don't need to go to Tony Robbins. You don't need to do all these events. It is truly the Holy Spirit that transforms you. Maybe you can find it at an event. I know for me, that was riseupkings.com. You see me every podcast. I have my bracelet. I've had Skylar on our podcast. Great group of men that do nothing but lift you up. Doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter how young you are. Well, you got to be at least 18. But from 18 all the way up to my dad, 72 years old, you can go through the refinery process. You can meet yourself. Get to know your blind spots. Transform your heart. Embrace change. Embrace pain that you have inflicted on others so you can learn more about yourself. Guys, this gets really deep. This is why I say money is not a financial problem. Money is not an issue. Money is actually a spiritual issue. And when you align yourself with God himself, he Malachi's 3 your life. You have tithing rights. You have the ability to say, Jesus, I need for you to provide for me because I'm Malachi 3 proof. You said it in your word, try me in this. Well, here's my first fruits. Here's my first fruits. You're supposed to take care of me. That's what your word says. You're supposed to give me knowledge. You're supposed to give me power. You're supposed to give me protection. Like, he is the head of all kings. He owns 1,000 cattle on a hill. He is the one that provides. Just like your earthly father. Is he going to kick you to the curb, or is he going to give you love? Is he going to help you get a shelter? He doesn't wish the evil on you. I don't know, maybe some evil fathers out there, but look, he's also human. Our God is not that way. He is literally designed to take care of you. He is designed for you to be his sheep, and he would shepherd you in his way through his Holy Spirit. And so we have to ask him, God, can you give me the knowledge? Can you provide for me? Here is my heart. Here is my life. I surrender to you, Lord. The charts don't lie. Yes, we get that. And we need it. We need the power of knowledge to understand what we're doing. That's the whole power of this show, Scriptures and Wall Street, because we get our ordination. We get our renewing of the mind through God's scriptures. And going into that, the book I'm reading, Husband After God, very, very challenging for me because I've been a terrible husband. Ask my wife. I've lusted. I've been a failure to infidelity. Okay, I've done things to hurt her, And I'm constantly trying to be in the pain box with her. I'm constantly trying to improve myself because that's what I struggle with. That's my struggle. That is my sin that I publicly confess. Up until now, obviously, it is the Holy Spirit that transforms me. And I'm always seeking help. I'm always aligning myself with men that agree with what I believe in and that lift me up. And so I'm grateful for my community. But I wanted to read this. One of the scariest statements Jesus ever made can be found in Mark 6:14 through 15. For if you forgive others that your trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you do not forgive others their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses. Pretty cold, man. So we are called to be forgiveful. We are called to forgive. Consider these words deeply and understand that implications that they hold. As a follower of Christ, you have chosen to love and obey your Savior. His words hold more weight than any other in your life. When you said yes to Jesus, you immediately gave up the right to certain things. The most important being choice to forgive others. You have forfeited the right to hold on to wrongdoings against you. The world will tell you, unless a person who has wronged you ask for forgiveness and change their ways, you are not responsible for forgiving them. However, that is not what Jesus has taught in his word. Jesus makes it very clear to his disciples the significance of forgiveness. Jesus also gives a stern warning in Matthew 18:21. Take a moment to read again. There is nothing that anyone in this world, especially your wife, can do to you that is unworthy of forgiveness than what God forgave you through his son, Jesus. So if you hold anyone in unforgiveness, you are effectively saying that what they did to you is worse than what you did to God. If you have complete forgiveness, then so can others. Forgiving your wife will not be easy. She'll offend you at times. Also in her weakness, she will sin. Likewise, there will be times that you offend her and sin. Marriage is vulnerable because it's an intimate union between two sinners. The personal struggles you and your wife have negatively impact one another and the quality of your marriage. Without forgiveness, ruin in your relationship is inevitable. There are many issues that can cause conflict in marriage, including finances, manipulation, lying, lust, pride. The list goes on. However, you and your wife are responsible for protecting a relationship against those sources of contention. One of the most powerful ways you can transform these conflicts into milestones of growth is through reconciliation. And reconciliation is a result of cumulation of apology and forgiveness, both of which require humility. Apology and forgiveness are vital, true signs of healthy marriage. Do your part to keep your marriage strong through the willingness of practicing forgiveness. Christ urges you to continue to forgive just like God continues to forgive you. And the book goes on a little deeper, but just a huge devotion for me as I go through the pain box with my wife, and I'm learning to forgive others. But we also need to understand that there's a lot of wrongdoings that have happened to us. There's a lot of wrongdoings that that are basically the world tells us, hey, go kick that guy's ass or go sue him or go do that. And we play victim card when I know in our emotions and our pride says, hey, we need to fight back. Yes, there's a time and place for that. But if someone actually did wrong by you and confessed to it and actually is trying to turn from their wicked ways, then you need to forgive them. That is an ordained order from God. So pretty powerful for me. For if you forgive others that trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you do not forgive others of their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses. Crazy, man. So it's real hard hitting verse for me. Hope that speaks to you. More importantly, we want to help you. So give us a call, 813-448-3446. You can visit us at cortezwm.com. You can download our free guide at americafirstretirementplan.com. Also thinking about doing a name change to America First Retirement Planners instead of getting rid of Cortez WM. It hurts because I've been Cortez WM for since the beginning, since 2011. And I'm thinking that it's time for a name change. So let me know your thoughts. This is bigger than me. The message, the movement, the platform is bigger than me. I do not want to have my name associated with it because the message is bigger than me. And one day, someone else will take over and continue the baton and pass the baton over to keep the fire lit up. But yeah, I'm thinking about changing America First retirement planners and just being bold about keeping America first and absolutely actually America second and God first. So maybe I need to do a name change for that. So just give me some ideas there. But check us out, support our show. Go to getmeleanusa.com, get you some peptides, get in shape. Helps with focus, helps with hydration, helps with weight loss and muscle building. All these things, cleaning out your gut, having the probiotics. It's great health and wealth for you. If you want to offer it to your friends and family, there's a business affiliate program on the side. But more importantly, I love the peptides. They're all natural based. They're not the synthetic ones that you get from online that you don't even know what they're doing to your body. They're eating up your muscle. You got to inject yourself needles. These are all just oral peptides you just take with a veggie capsule. 100% clean, very clean. And so peptides can come from nature, from animals, from plants, and they have this amazing technology that will go through your body, and you will start to lose weight. You'll start to feel great. You'll start to do more push-ups. You'll start to have energy and focus. Doesn't matter how young or how old you are. I have clients that are taking this stuff and they are improving their health within 30 days. So it's not cheap. It's not expensive, but it is affordable. And if you get on a subscription, you will get a 10 to 20% discount depending on which product and how long you've been on it. So go to Get Me Lean USA. Let's build that together, and I'm here to help you. You also will get a free video text thanking me, or I'm sorry, thanking you. Me thanking you. Sorry, I got tongue twisted. You'll also, let me record that mic. You'll also get a video text from me thanking you. And so just, yep. If you can do it in March, great, because I believe prices are going up. And anyways, I hope you guys are doing well. Stay tuned. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our backup Rumble channel on Scriptures in Wall Street. Just go to Rumble and go type in Scriptures in Wall Street, and you'll see our content. You'll see videos. You'll see me talking with my family and just running through the ice hockey rink with the kids and just honestly just having fun. So check us out. It doesn't cost you anything. You can support the show that way as well. And we'll talk with you soon. God bless. And see you later.